On March 24th, 1989, in the town of Ambridge, Pennsylvania, during a Good Friday Mass, Jim Savitkovic, a local altar boy, was praying during Holy Communion. He looked up and noticed Jesus' eyes on the church's crucifix were closed. Shocked and confused, as the eyes were normally open, Savitkovic tapped his brother Tom, who also confirmed the eyes were closed. As Jim believed his viewpoint or light might have been causing the eyes to appear to be closed, he moved around to the other side of the altar, and still the eyes were closed. As Mass ended, the boys began crying with joy and told Reverend Vincent Savitkovic, also the boy's uncle, that he saw the eyes of Jesus were closed. Vincent and another priest would begin investigating and realized that the eyes looked closed. But since the crucifix was hanging 22 feet in the air, it would be better to bring in a ladder for a closer inspection. Before doing this, they called Dominic Leo, a local artist who refurbished the statue just 2 months earlier in January. Leo was stunned to see the eyes close, and it also appeared now that the statue was crying. Overjoyed, Leo began to cry as well. Dominic Leo was the first to climb the ladder to get a closer look at the crucifix. Leo saw that the left eye was completely closed, and he believed the right eye was slightly opened. Local parishioner and state trooper Chris Marion was skeptical, and he decided to climb the ladder to be certain that no one had tampered with the eyes. To his surprise, he was absolutely sure no tampering had occurred. Another parishioner, Sue Tolfa, was very familiar with the crucifix. At one time, the crucifix was in an alcove area that was well lit. Sue saw it very often. She was positive that the eyes were open every day until Good Friday. Several days after seeing the eyes, it was reported by parishioners that the eyes had returned to their normal open position. Still, word had already spread, and this crucifix would soon come to be known as the blinking crucifix. Religious people began flocking to Ambridge to see the crucifix and to pray to it. The crucifix, which was at the Holy Trinity Church since 1931, would draw crowds for some time. Religious miracles have been happening for centuries all over the world. When a potential miracle takes place, the church sends investigators to see if the miracle may have indeed occurred. In the case of the blinking crucifix, the church stated that there was no convincing evidence that a miracle, properly defined by the church, had occurred. As such, the Vatican took no further action on the case. However, the Bishops' Commission did state that the witnesses were sincere. Still, not all were convinced and happy with the church's investigation. In the fall of 1989, that same year, Reverend Vincent Savitkovic would resign. As the years passed, interest faded, and in 2004, the church closed. That same year, Reverend Vincent Savitkovic would pass away. 13 years later, Dominic Leo would pass away as well. The blinking crucifix remains a mystery to this day. Skeptics point out that this could have been a mirage, and also that the crucifix could have been tampered with. Also, once many outside visitors and investigators arrived to examine it, the eyes had returned to their original open position. In 1989, in the town of Ambridge, people may have been looking for a miracle and something that wasn't there. The people of Ambridge were highly religious, and the town had high employment and was struggling in what once was a vibrant community supported by the steel industry. Still, the community remained adamant the miracle occurred. Reverend Savitkovic said he often pointed out that his congregation that it was unusual that the crucifix depicted a still living Christ with open eyes and mouth. Dominic Leo swore on his life that the eyes were open before and after he worked on the icon. It's clear many individuals in the town saw the eyes and got a very clear look over those 3 days when they were closed. Perhaps that they did become victims of mass hysteria or something similar. Still, with their belief in the miracle, that seemed to give them the much needed hope to get through their tough times and prosper.